welcome to On Hold with me, Lindy Ngongwane. And I want to talk goal setting. You know how our companies are very diligent in terms of setting goals for the year. Actually, it starts with taking time out for a boss borad or something, and you go out for a planning session somewhere quiet in the field, in those places, and you sit and think and plan and come up with plans in terms of what you're going to do for the next year or for the next quarter or for something like that. Then in the beginning of the year, I'll talk to what I closely know with most companies. The beginning of the year, company sets out its goals, and for your scorecard, you take the goals and you determine what you're going to be doing for the year in terms of moving things forward. What I notice about that process is that it's not about what you're going to do daily. It's about really what you put in your plan or in your scorecard or in your goals. It's about how you're going to shift things, what you're going to move, what you're going to target for that year, because you don't want to be doing the same thing every year, but each and every year you want to be improving. So if I've reached this goal or I've reached this milestone this year, next year I plan for another one. And then you have those reviews about your goals until you get to the end of the year, and then you review whether you've achieved your goals or not. And normally then that comes with whatever celebration that there may be. Now, I'm looking, okay, fine, we do that diligently with organizations, no problem. But when I thought about it, do we do it personally as people to plan and have goals for the year or for 2 years or something like that? Because it's going to be very important that we do. I know these days we don't like resolutions and all of that. And I'm not talking about having a resolution. I'm just talking about goals and having a plan for yourself. And the plan is not about things you're going to do daily. We know that you're going to breathe daily. You're going to have to eat. You're going to have to go to work. You're going to take kids to school, whatever. Those are business as usual, normal things. You do them. You must do them. It's not even a negotiable thing. It's like you have to do it. But it's about how do you push yourself further? How do you push the dial? How do you move yourself forward? How do you plan for something that is going to progress you or your family or your children or whichever way you look at it, or your business? So you've got to look at what are those things, and every year you want to progress and increment and say, last year I planned for this, I achieved this. The next year I'm planning for that and achieving that. Not the normal day things, like I'm saying. It's something that you want to work towards. I don't know if we all have, but my point is that is very important that you do it. And if you look with companies and organizations, it's written down. It is a contract. Most of the time we call it a performance contract. So it is a contract. You look at it, you work towards it. It's got timelines. It's got specifications in terms of what is going to be achieved, how it's going to be achieved, etc. And when it's going to be achieved, right? And then you track that. You track that through your conversations with your managers, or if you have a team, your conversations with your team, you track that media, you track it at the end. Are we as diligent as we are with the company's goals when it comes to our goals? Do we stick to them? Do we write them down? Do we review them as often as we can? Do we have timelines? Do we have, everything? Do we do that? I don't think we do that. Maybe some do. Okay, but if you are, please let us know. Write in the comments and tell us how that works for you. What are your timelines? When do you do that? And how has it helped you so far? I am here to encourage all of us to be able to do that. Okay, the rest of us who don't. Some of us do, but you find that by March, the plans have fallen by the wayside, or we're no longer just tracking goals. Yeah, we remember them when we set them, but we forget about them. But the point is, you need to stick to the goals. You need to push the goal until you can achieve it. So maybe for some, it's about consistency. This conversation is about consistency. Maybe for some, it's about starting. And and that's what it does for you. But the point is, we need to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have any goals, then I mean, what do you how do you like decide what you want next, how you're going to get it? I mean, if you want to buy a car, you have to save up for some deposit. You have to decide what it is. So if you want to save up for a deposit, that means there's certain financial decisions that you're going to make. And some of those decisions might mean that there are certain things that you're going to deprive yourself of so that you can save what you need to save to get to your car or a house or studies. So you will know when you have a plan, you know, what do I need to limit? What do I need to accelerate? What do I need to say yes to, no to? What do I need to accept? What do I not need to accept? What decisions must I make? And what decisions must I stop making? Or, so it's just as easy as that. If you don't have a plan, everything goes. You invited to parties, you go to everyone. You there's money needed, you spend. There's no prioritization. There's no kind of like a sense of control unless your plan doesn't involve all of that. Okay, but if it does, then you know exactly what you need to be doing and you know exactly how to respond to things because you have a goal that you are working towards and you want to achieve that. If you want to study and you know that you want to achieve the qualification in a year, it's 1 year and you want to achieve that, you already know that that's your goal. You want to finish by the end of the year, unless you are stretching it for 2 years or whatever. But even if that's the case, then you know that there are sometimes you're not going to be available for your parents or for your friends or for your family. Maybe you're paying for your own fees. Then you know that I'm not going to be able to do this and this and that anymore because I have to pay school fees. I guess you catch my drift. So my point that I'm bringing across is to make sure we have goals. You're never too late. There's no one who said you must start a goal in January. You can have a goal and draft a goal any time of the year. You can start now, you can start next month and just decide depending on when you want your goal to be achieved. You can have more than one goal, but at least let's get into maybe a practice of having goals so that at least one thing, when you look back in the year, you know that I've achieved that, I've done that. Even if it's a small thing, that's not even going to take you a whole year. Even something that's just going to take you a month or 2 days, but it's a goal and you've achieved it. So that's why I'm here and so early in the year, just to talk about setting your own goals and sticking to your own goals. It's not easy, especially when the goal is too long. It can be exhausting and frustrating, but it is your goal, remember? So if you don't make the sacrifices to achieve the goal, you're not going to get to the goal and no one else is going to do it for you. So what do you think?